I think we talked pregame. You know, if you go down, you got to go down swinging, and I think that's what they did. They left it all out there at home in front of their fans. It was a heck of a game, back and forth. Great plays made on both ends. I think it comes down again. The Lakers had 19 turnovers, crucial ones, 11 in the second half, just for 22 opponent points. It's just, you average 19 turnovers for the whole series against the number one seed. It's just not good enough. But man, they left it all out there. Fun average of play by a lot of guys. And yeah, Reeves stepped up. I thought Rui played a fantastic game. LeBron gave it his shot there in the fourth and made a couple plays. Jackson Hayes out of nowhere. So credit to the Lakers. They left it all out there.
Yeah, and part of those turnovers, you know, Oklahoma City is just an unbelievable defensive team. But the problem is when you do have, call it 6 or 7 careless turnovers, Oklahoma City can force you into 12 or however many, you know, however you want to slice it up. So that's why, like, the turnovers are so critical. I mean, it's not like you're asking somebody to go have 6 turnovers a game, but it's the ones that you just completely messed up. The ones you know you were just being careless that really kill you, because this team, Oklahoma City, you know, turns those into points a lot of times.
Now, of course, we just saw the fourth quarter there, but the Thunder trailed in the fourth tonight for the first time this playoffs, but they ended up outscoring the Lakers 35-26 in the fourth. And it's really that crunch time that is the differentiator between a winning team and one that just might let it slip away. How do the Thunder lock in there at the end of the game, UD?
I mean, they've been there before on both sides of the basketball. You know, once you get in the paint, they're going to rotate. They're not going to give you anything easy. Marcus Smart got downhill against Chet downhill and scored that last layup. And I was a little confused because I thought the big was going to rotate, and he didn't. Usually they don't give that up. But offensively, how unselfish SGA was. He knew they were going to trap him on that last pass. That was just setting those guys up. He hit him in the pocket. Obviously, you got to pass to Chet, or you got to pass to the corner with the corner shooter. You hit Chet. He did a great job of not traveling, keeping his pivot foot down, going up strong, finishing. If I'm the Lakers and you got 2 guys and you got a guy pinned under the basket, you cannot let him get back and get that shot up. You keep him under that basket, you hold him under that basket, and you hold your ground. And that's force meaning force. Chet should not have been able to get that shot up, but once again, credit to the Lakers, man. They did everything.
On the OKC side, actually, we were wondering the whole time who's going to be the third guy stepping up. It was obviously Mitchell and Shea all night, but they had nobody else in double figures. And here comes McCain in the fourth quarter, made some big threes, and, you know, being all fired up. And then Chet had some big baskets down the stretch, and in some scramble, had 2 dunks. He's just using his length, that big-to-big pass UD was talking about with Hartenstein. That's what they, you know, obviously work on so many times. Double Shea, Hartenstein slips out, big-to-big pass, and that was a huge bucket. So I felt like they've seen it all, and that's why they're champs. They have a lot of answers to everything you throw at them, and that was a great way to finish.
And I think the Lakers have success when they bring Hartenstein up when they're doubling Shea. When it's guards coming to hit him, and the spacing's difficult. When Hartenstein comes up, they know they're doubling. They bring Hartenstein up. He catches in the pocket. You got a 7-footer in Chet under the rim, and you got shooters in the corner. So you get to that diamond out of the double team, and it's 4-on-3, and you've got them spaced out. The Lakers had a lot of success when they would just come hit from the guard, and they could rotate around and keep it out of the paint. So I thought it was smart for them to have the double bigs in there, bring Hartenstein up when they're doubling him, and allow him to play make out of the nail area.
Now, of course, there are no moral victories in the playoffs, but it is worth saying, we've talked about it a lot today, J.J. Redick did an incredible job throughout the series and in this game, trying to get creative when you are playing against the defending champs. What did you see from him, and the fact that the Lakers did show a lot of fight in this one, especially in the second half, which we didn't see in the previous games?
Yeah, I think putting them in positions to be successful. I think defensively it's really tough to guard them, but he threw a lot of junk defenses at them, kept them in the game for the most part in the first half of the first 3 games. Then obviously this game was able to sort of sustain that and also hold down that you know, terrible second quarter shooting.
Yeah, it is time now for Premium Player presented by Patron. We are so happy to welcome in Ajay Mitchell. Congratulations on this win. Headed to the Western Conference Finals after a very thrilling Game 5. There were so many key moments down the stretch to close the game. Which one stands out the most to you?
I mean, it was a tough game. I think there's a lot of plays that stand out, but I think the best thing we did was just staying together for 48 minutes. We did a great job down the stretch, taking care of those situations and took care of business.
AJ, man, good night tonight, man. Way to hoop.
Appreciate you.
284 minutes in the postseason this year, 84 total in the postseason last year. Just how do you just prepare for the opportunities and the responsibility of getting more time out there in a playoff situation?
Just being myself. My teammates and the coaching staff just are always giving me so much confidence that when I go out there, I can just go hoop. And feel like I'm learning with every single experience, and that's really helped me so far.
Congrats, AJ. This is Dirk. You had an incredible series against the Lakers. What did you see in this matchup that was working for you?
I mean, just attacking, being aggressive. Obviously, we knew they were going to be really focused on Shea, and just taking those opportunities for myself and my teammates, and we did a great job.
AJ, great series. After the game, Shea said you could say you were the best player in the series. What have you learned being around Shea every day, and has he empowered you to bring out the best in your game?
Yeah, I mean, he empowers me every day. Best player in the league, gives me confidence every single game, and gives me advice every single day, and that helps.
AJ, great game, man. It's Blake. We talked to Jared McCain after game 2. And obviously, you guys had a bunch of guys step up, yourself included. But one thing that stands out to me, man, is the joy that you guys play with and how much you guys, it looks like you guys just enjoy playing basketball with each other and are rooting for each other's success. Just talk about that mentality in the locker room, how far that goes.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, I feel like every single guy is rooting for each other, and that's special. And that really helps our team. And we're just having fun. We love to play basketball, and we love to be around each other. So that helps.
Looking forward to the Western Conference Finals. Well, what do you think of this other series still going on, and what are you liking?
I mean, 2 great teams, physical teams. We just got to get rest first of all, and then be ready for our next matchup.
AJ, of course, I know right now you are probably still locked into the game, but you do have to feel good. You have had an incredible series. You averaged 22 points a game this series. You scored more points in 4 games this series than you did the entire playoffs last season. You have Shea saying that you were the best player in this series. You also heard Shea once say, this might be a shock to the world, but it is not a shock to us. I just have to know what you have really taught yourself and shown yourself about your game this season and how good it must feel to have these performances at this time.
No, I mean, it feels great, obviously, being able to do what I did so far in the postseason. Just really, really excited, but I always try to never be too high, never be too low, and glad we got through this round. Glad I played this way, but you gotta turn the page, be ready for the next round, but I'll definitely enjoy this one.
Good. Well, there's a smile. We'll be high for you. Congratulations on this win. Headed to the Western Conference Finals. See you down the road.
Good job, AJ.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Sir.
All right, let's turn our attention to the Lakers, where JJ Redick has just taken the podium.
JJ, I think I asked you kind of a general question after the Houston series, and you kind of responded with gratitude kind of for the players and the coaches. That even though this comes in a loss, do you have that similar sense of that fight, or is it still kind of too soon and too raw after the loss?
I think when the season ends, there's always, I would say, a whirlwind of emotions. Certainly feeling a sense of gratitude for our players, the Lakers, our fan base. Really like that, you've seen these 3-0 games before, and I thought there were 2 different times during the game where our team could have gave in, could have let go of the rope. We didn't. I thought the crowd was awesome tonight, and I've been part of these on both sides where it's a 3-0 and you're playing on the road or you're playing at home, and the crowd can just not be great. And the crowd was awesome tonight. Our fans are awesome. Gratitude.
You're playing the defending champs.
I mean, obviously hard to really gather your emotions after a playoff loss there, but your reaction to JJ's words on the podium?
Yeah, he's exactly right. I mean, we heard JJ talk about it before the game. This is a unbelievable Oklahoma City Thunder team. I mean, they have made teams look like this all year long. And if you are JJ, I mean, you are extremely proud of these guys. I mean, to take Oklahoma City to basically the wire is definitely something to be proud of. I mean, at the end of the day, a loss is a loss. But back to the drawing board. I think the Lakers have some things to figure out. Their roster is not where it needs to be to be a team that contends. So I thought JJ got every ounce out of this squad. I thought some of the guys on this team played their hearts out. But, it happens, and they got a long offseason, see if they can make some roster improvements and get back to where Laker fans, want them to be.
We will, of course, dive into what we think might happen with LeBron when we consider what the Lakers should do in this offseason. But when you watch Ajay Redick there on the podium, just from a coaching standpoint, what is going on in your mind in this moment after a loss like that? And how are you balancing, maybe looking ahead? Are you really just internalizing what just occurred? What are you thinking, Steve?
Well, I think he said it spot on with the whirlwind of emotions, because you have to think there's like the big picture, and then there's the immediacy of losing in the playoffs. So you start a season trying to put a group together, trying to find a way of playing, an identity, a style. You go through a season, you evolve, you find that way of playing. We noticed, before Luka and Austin got hurt, they were playing great basketball. So they've come a long way because they had some tough patches during the season and some injuries. So then you get to this position and you're missing Luka. You obviously missed Austin for part of the playoffs. So in the immediacy, you probably have mixed emotions. You're devastated to lose. It hurts to get swept. At the same time, they played really good basketball considering who was available for them and the roster they have. But then he's got to also look forward. But right now, it's probably not the time to look forward. Right now is the time just to kind of digest, to talk to all of your players the next day or so, try to make sure you have an understanding of what was accomplished, what wasn't, where we need to go forward with each player. And then it becomes an organizational situation where, they're franchise players sitting on the sideline. How do you build a team around Luka Doncic? What's the situation with LeBron? What's happening with Austin's extension or free agency? So there's a lot of decisions, like Blake said. And I think right now, he's probably in the immediacy, got to worry about what just happened this last 7 months. What can we take away from it? What can we give our players so they can go away this summer and get better? And then you get to work with the organization about what moves we can make to improve our roster and our situation and put a team around Luka Doncic that can compete in the West.
I mean, going off that, what would you take from this series, from this playoffs?
You know what? I really would have liked to seen the Lakers fully healthy. It's very easy, and I agree they do need to make some changes, but I just really would have liked to get a better assessment of how they would have competed as a healthy roster in this series right now. So it's really hard to give that, but I do agree there is some changes that need to be made in that locker room and in that situation when you talk about being a championship team. But we can't forget the run that they had when they were healthy. So for me, definitely JJ needs to evaluate some things, but I think he also needs to keep it in perspective. They were pretty successful when he was healthy, but there are some small changes that need to be made, and also the King. What happens with the King? That is a conversation that they need to have. I think he is still very impactful. He can still help a team win, but at what price? And that's the conversation that needs to be had, not only with the Lakers, but any other team.
I mean, there is no shoulda, coulda, woulda, ifs, ands, or buts in the playoffs. So we are all talking about Luka not playing in this series and for some of the postseason. How does he just change the fabric of what this could have looked like?
Yeah, it would have been sweet to see how his competitiveness and as his level would have risen in the playoffs. He had an incredible month of March there when he had like 600 points. The team was rolling, and they were just hitting their stride. So it was just very unfortunate timing of the whole thing. So, I wish we would have seen how this team would have looked, but now they have some decisions to make. I think they need some bigs. They need some shooting. They need to get younger. They need to get a little more athletic. On the wing, on the perimeter, defensive-wise. So, I'm sure it's always like this. You lose in the playoffs. The organization takes a few weeks and look at itself, and the GM finds a way to get better. And I think they want to build a team around Luka and find a good mix for him with defenders and shooters. And and lob threats and just the kind of team and teammates he needs around him to be successful. So that'll be an interesting offseason there in Lakerland.
Yeah. I mean, Luka obviously a great player, and it would have been fun to see, but this series was still going to go to Oklahoma City.
For sure.
We're saying for a fair,
making sure we're all on the same page.
Evaluation.
We all agree.
Yeah, it was hard to get a fair evaluation. Ain't no way in hell they was going to win that. No way.
All right, we're all in agreement, for sure.